Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Saunch here. Welcome back to yet another episode here on BNN. First off, thank you so much, everyone who subscribed in the last few days. My wife picking on me in the background. I'll get to you, don't you worry. But in this video, before we get into the video, thank you so much, everyone who subscribed. Around almost 300 subscribers in the last 2 days, and around almost 30,000 views. So I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, really do appreciate every single one of you, ladies and gentlemen, hopping in and joining the Team BNN hashtag Team BNN. I know it's cringy, but anywho, I got so many positive responses from yesterday's video that we did with Blessing Awodabu, Brandon Curry, and Andrew Jack, kind of doing a little comparison, seeing how they potentially could compare in the Olympia this year. And I got a lot of critiques for the height adjustment, so I will do my very best to accommodate those corrections and apply those corrections. But in this one, we're going to go ahead and run it through Andrew Jack versus the top three from last year's Mr. Olympia. Again, there's been a lot of conversation. I even saw a comment saying top three, so that kind of gave me the idea. Okay, let's just run it back one time. Let's put everyone side by side. We're gonna go through the front double, back double, and then the rear lat. And we're not gonna get into the other ones just because I feel like no disrespect to Andrew Jack, but it seemed like his posing just isn't really there yet for the side shots. And I just didn't want to waste your guys' time. So let's go ahead and go through the front double bicep, shall we? Bicep, no S at the end. Obviously, Andrew Jack on the left, Big Ramy next to him, hadi Choopan next to him, and then Brandon Curry, previous Mr. Olympia, all the way on the right. And, honestly, the more I look at Big Ramy and his legs, it just doesn't really... It doesn't do it for me anymore. He has that crazy mass and those, borderline synthol-looking quad sweeps, but it just doesn't do it for me anymore. I'd much rather prefer hadi Choopan's legs. He has that separation and just a beautiful long sweep. The quad goes all the way down into his knee, and I think that looks a lot more aesthetic, at least from my foxhole. Please let me know in your guys's. Please let me share your thoughts in the comment sections below. And then Brandon Curry, this is the photo from the Olympia where he was supposed to be spot on, the best he's ever been. And I still just don't think those legs are comparable or even competitive in the top three. But I digress. Andrew Jack, we've talked in depth about his legs. I think they look phenomenal. I would like to see more separation and just more definition as it comes up into the posing trunks. I think that's going to give a lot better look to him at this year's Olympia. Midsection solid. He's going to probably have to hold a vacuum since it looks like most of these top three gentlemen are holding somewhat of a vacuum, and hadi, really holding a phenomenal vacuum as of late. So I'd like to see that. I also, lastly, since we're going to be looking at the front double bicep, part of the arm is the forearm, and I noticed on Fuad's most recent woods adventure vlog from his porch it looked like he was on vacation in northern Canada. He did mention that Andrew Jack had smaller forearms than what might be needed to be competitive in this top 6 or potentially top 10. Now, I don't, this isn't the best photo to see forearms, but I think that there is some validity to that. Moving into the back double bicep, again, you really can't see the forearms here, but you'll just have to take my word for it or just check out the other video where we show his forearms just a little bit more. From the back, I feel like just Andrew Jack really gets swamped here. This is a great photo for Brandon Curry. His legs look really good, or not his legs, but his back looks really good in this shot. Very full, very bubbly. Bigger, I'd say, than hadi's, but if I'm going to be honest, I think I like hadi's look from the back more than Brandon Curry's. Hadi has more separation in the legs. He has tighter glutes, sharper, harder glutes. The lower back, it looks a little bit bigger compared to Brandon because Brandon is taller, but overall with the density and the conditioning and the separation, in that upper back, going into the traps and the questionable delts. I think that's just a better package. Now, Big Ramy, very, very big. Not a lot of conditioning in that lower back. I'm worried that the strategy last year, or my thoughts about the strategy last year, was he didn't want to give up too much size, so he didn't push the envelope on the conditioning. And I feel like you can see that in the hamstrings. The glutes are very hard. I think that's mostly a training, maybe even a genetic thing, that his glutes are just that hard and sharp, but the hamstrings just aren't very separated. There's not a lot of piano wiring. You can look at Hadi's legs, and those are conditioned, and Big Ramy's not so much. And then going back up to the top, like we were talking about the back, it's good, it's big, but there's definitely a lot of gaps, especially he's not spreading the back. He's kind of just, when you do your back double, you scrunch it, and then you bring it down, and then you open it up. It's almost as if he can't open it up. And I've noticed Chris Aceto, I remember Chris Aceto mentioned that on one of Dave Palumbo's RX Muscle podcasts last year, maybe 2 years ago, was that Big Ramy was having difficulties opening up his back, or that he can't even do it. So that's definitely going to be a worry for me. Definitely is going to be leaving the door open if he shows up again with that ability to not open up that back from the back double. From the lat spread, I feel like he's opening up more, but you can kind of tell it does look a little funny. He's not opening that lower back, and even the upper back, it looks opened a little bit. Structurally, it just doesn't make sense to me. But the legs look a lot harder in this shot, so maybe he just wasn't flexing as much as this one is. Andrew Jack, I think, still getting overlooked in the size department, in the conditioning department. Brandon brought a pretty good conditioned physique at last year's Olympia. Looks like he's off center a little bit, but that's okay. And then from the back, it's big, but there's really no definition to speak of here for this being his most conditioned package. And then same in the leg department. It's just it's all pure mass for him. But it got top 2, so obviously the judges are seeing something that we're not in these crystal clear 4K photos. But I digress. Hadi Choopan looking phenomenal as well. Still probably the sharpest guy in the top 6 for conditioning. And then we already talked about Andrew Jack. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know your thoughts on this comparison. These are actually kind of fun for me. We get to run through some photos of these gentlemen and see how potentially Andrew Jack could compare against the top 3. I don't think he's going to land in the top 3. Just the density from the back, I think he's going to push him probably outside the top 6. But look for, I was thinking the next comparison we do is Andrew Jack versus Samson Dauda and Akeem Williams. So please let me know your thoughts on that comparison if that's something you'd like to see. And of course, please share this video with a like-minded individual, as it helps me reach a larger audience and a newer audience like yourself. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe if you enjoy this style of content, and like the video if you want to see more content like this in the near future. Check out bodybuildingnews.net for all my merch and apparel, and you guys can rock cool swag that has BNN on it. But that's it. Thanks for watching. My name's Saunch, your host here on BNN, and I'll see you in the next one.